Hi guys, here's another Canon review. This time I have Powershot SX60, top of the line ultra zoom camera. We have been waiting for quite a long time for this one. SX50 was on the market from 2012 and 2 years is quite a long time for this type of camera. Anyway, SX60 is here and this is a list of new features. It has more megapixels, more optical zoom, new image processor, higher resolution LCD, higher burst rate, Wi-Fi and better video mode. Compared to the medium-range SX520 model, there is also quite a few upgrades. Better image processor, RAW file format, more optical zoom, articulated LCD with more dots and better viewing angles, hot shoe, much higher continuous shooting, better video mode together with external microphone input, Wi-Fi and also a higher battery life. Build quality is average to good. SX60 is built from the same rough-looking plastic, just like more affordable brothers, SX400 and SX520. It is well assembled together and you will get used to it quite fast, at least I did. Grip is almost as big as found in entry-level DSLR cameras and is covered with rubber, as is the case with the thumb rest. It makes holding this camera a pleasant task. Shutter button has perceptible 2-level clicks, but most of the buttons on the back are too recessed or too closed, so it is not easy to use them. I didn't like the position of the Wi-Fi buttons on the place where most Canon cameras have playback. I don't think this feature is that important to have its dedicated button, which sadly cannot be reassigned. There are 3 buttons which can though: the movie button, shortcut and the lower button on the lens. You can choose from around 20 options for each of them. Controlling this camera is very easy. Quick menu has familiar look and can also be remodeled to your personal liking. Main menu is the same as on any other Canon Powershot and it still has a problem remembering last used option. Each time you enter the menu it starts from the top, which is quite irritating. At least you get the last tab called My Menu Setting, in which you can assign often used features. At the bottom there is a metal tripod mount which is too close to the battery and memory card compartment, so it makes exchanging them impossible when on tripod. Battery is a lithium unit strong enough for around 300 shots, what is quite good for this type of camera. The right side hides mini USB and mini HDMI connectors as well as wired remote control connector. And on the left side you can see 3.5mm input for external stereo microphone. This is great for video recording. LCD has 3-inch diagonal and pleasant 922,000 dots. It is detailed with good colors and excellent viewing angles. It is also articulated, but it doesn't have touch control. Electronic viewfinder could have been better. It is small and with visible RGB tearing effect. It has diopter adjustment, but there is no proximity sensor. You need to engage it manually and even that is not implemented in the way it should. To switch from LCD to electronic viewfinder you need multiple display button presses. Better solution would have been dedicated button. Built-in pop-up flash has 5.5 meters, that's 16 feet range, and must be raised manually. It will not pop up automatically even in full automatic mode. There is a hot shoe for a proper external flash though, a must-have for proper indoor shooting. Responsivity is quite good. SX60 turns on in around a second and it takes less than a second to take a shot, clear it from the buffer and be ready for the next shot. Burst shooting is available at 6 frames per second and the camera can fire more than 50 shots in succession. When you switch to RAW format it is visibly slower. Burst is only around a single frame per second and it takes around a second to write it to memory card. Autofocus is quite good. It focuses under a second in good light and even in low light never needs more than 2 seconds. If it cannot focus at all, it will use some medium focus setting and still allow you to take a shot. I like that. The lens has 65 times optical zoom, among the largest on the market. It covers 21 to 1365 mm in 35mm equivalent. That is really huge range. Zoom can be controlled in 2 speeds. The slower one takes around 7 seconds to fully extend the lens, and the faster one does it in around 2.5 or maybe 3 seconds. Optical stabilization works superb. Here's a video example which was recorded on maximum telephoto and handheld. Sensor in this camera is small, 6x4mm and has 16 megapixels. Image quality is still hard to judge since Adobe doesn't support RAW files from this camera and there is no way for me to check what SX60 is really capable of. What you are looking at now are JPEGs straight out of the camera. Colors are realistic and SX60 has correct exposure. When you zoom into images there are noise reduction artifacts even on base ISO value. For final conclusion, you will have to wait until Adobe launches next ACR update so I can open raw files, and then I will publish the detailed review on my blog with full resolution images for download. Video recording is available in Full HD at 60 frames per second. This really adds to nice and fluent videos, especially when you are recording moving objects like animals or children. Video recordings look quite good, without compression artifacts and with realistic colors. As I said before, image stabilization is superb and you can attach external microphone. Okay, that's it for this review. Check out the rest of my channel, subscribe to get notices on future reviews, feel free to drop me a comment if you want to know something, and thanks for watching.